You're listening to the Dramatic Show podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Dramatic Show podcast. Guys, welcome back to the show. It's Reyah. How you feeling?
I'm good. How you fellas and ladies doing?
Everybody good?
I'm good.
All right, so guys, again, welcome back to the Dramatic Show podcast. We have some special guests still coming with us, Cortez Jones and Kianya Waters. Both Jonathan's wife and Cortez is a close friend of mine. Cortez, welcome back to the show, man.
Good to be back. And
Kianya, we're so glad that you actually came back to talk to us a little bit about this episode. How you liking it so far? How you like the podcast?
I'm enjoying myself. I'm thankful for even being on the show.
Awesome.
This opportunity.
Good deal. So, in this episode, we're going to be talking about the Church of Beyonce. And the correct term for that church is the National Church of Bey. That's right. Yeah, I didn't stutter. I didn't say anything wrong. The National Church of Bey. You guys wonder what I'm talking about? About 4 years ago, a group of people from Atlanta started a church called the National Church of Bey. This is actually a church that basically praises Beyonce as a deity. Now, for those of you who don't know who Beyonce is, and most of everybody should know, I'm going to just still go over her little resume. Beyonce is a singer, songwriter, dancer, actress, and businesswoman. She's also the former lead singer of the former group Destiny's Child, one of the best-selling girl groups in history. Also the wife of music mogul Jay-Z as well. So this is why we want to kind of talk about this. The Church of Beyonce. When I read the story, I thought it was just like a joke or like a hoax or something like that. I didn't really take it serious when I looked at it, but apparently this is actually a legitimate, real thing, and they actually are praising Beyonce as a god. My first thoughts: blasphemy. I can think of a lot of different words for that. I'm gonna read a message from the minister of this church. And again, these are her specific quotes. I didn't add anything to this or anything like this. And the founder of the church, Minister Diva Pauline Andrews, she had a displeasure with the traditional views of the church. So she said, "We are very disappointed in the failure of the public to recognize the existence of a divine deity walking among them. Deities often walk the earth in their flesh form. Beyonce will transcend back to the spirit once her work here on Mother Earth has been completed. As our congregation begins to swell, we ask that you consider what is more real: an invisible spirit on high, or a walking, talking, breathing goddess who shows you her true form daily. While we do not believe Beyonce to be the creator, we recognize that she still sits among the throne of gods. We humbly ask you to respect our beliefs, just as you want those to respect yours. Open up your mind to new possibilities, and you will see, just as we did, that Bey is a true higher power." All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here and just kind of look across the room at my panelists as to what they think about that. Cortez, I'm gonna start with you, man. Tell people a little bit about your theology degree and your background with Christian. Well, you get what I'm saying. Just talk to us.
All right on. So I got my undergraduate at Southeastern, which is Bible College in Wake Forest. So it was Christian Studies and Humanities, and currently in the MA program, so I just got approved there. So thank God for that. So that's who I am.
Cool. We just basically want to get your credibility.
Right.
When I told you about this story, what first came to mind to you?
I mean, the same reaction you had. It's ridiculous, you know. But you don't have to have a degree in theology to recognize that that's off base. Any Bible believing Christian can just come to that conclusion, without a degree. The tendency is for people to worship the earth or to worship creation. When you read Romans, that's very clear. It says that instead of worshiping God, they worship the creature. You know, so that's the tendency of all. That's the tendency of the human heart, is to worship the creature. And so that's what you see in this particular instance here with the Church of Bey, as you read the belief saw.
Let's just put it out here. Do y'all think that lady is just flat out crazy? I mean, let's just put it out here.
Yeah,
I do.
I do too, man. Go ahead.
I'm just in disbelief the fact that they're worshiping this. What makes her so special for them to worship her?
And then from that question, Kianya, I'll start with Reyah. Are you a Beyonce fan?
I am, but I don't think that what they doing is right.
Right. So my question, this is how we're gonna start this. What are the qualities? Why are you a Beyonce fan? What do you like about her most?
She's an entertainer. She's very entertaining. And she has a voice. And she's married to someone that, you know, I grew up listening to. Like, Jay is one of my favorites. And I'm from Brooklyn. So she's automatically a part of, you know.
Why do you think so many women gravitate to Beyonce?
I guess it's her personality, her demeanor, like her character, who she portrayed herself to be. She's very secretive, so we really don't know who Beyonce is. You know what I'm saying? So
I think it's more of her songs that they gravitate to. The words, her lyrics, and her songs that are more of the women empowerment.
What makes her so much is admired. And so, like, most people can relate to her.
What are some of the songs that you feel like motivated you from Beyonce?
Like Diva. She had it's a lot of songs she got. Her album. Which one? What was the name of the album with Missy produced Signs on it? Was it Beyonce? I think it was Beyonce.
Yeah. And don't worry, we'll come back to that.
She got a lot of nice songs. Like, she's family oriented. So.
Well, it's a lot of artists and females out there that make nice songs and good songs.
Right.
But this cult following that Beyonce has, and I'm not even just talking about the Church of Bey, but I mean, people really just cling to Beyonce.
I don't understand that. I never did. But
what do you think, Kiana?
I mean, they have the Beehive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she has a lot of people that support her, and I've seen a few comments on Instagram where I guess someone had posted something negative about Beyonce, and the Beehive went crazy, like defending her. And I mean, their support for her is just it's out of this world.
So, this lady, she stated that, you know, the congregation is growing daily. I've tried to do some research on it. I haven't seen anything else about it. Like, I haven't seen any updates or anything that the church is still going on or anything like that. Did you guys find anything else about it?
nothing factual based. I found a lot of opinion based videos, but
we as African Americans, when we look up to people like Beyonce and Jay-Z, and then we look at Barack Obama, and then we look at Michelle Obama, why are those particular figures, why are they at the forefront of who black people inspire to be like? Why do you think I would say there was the top four the top two couples that I feel like black people like inspires them. Why do you feel like they gravitate to both Barack and his wife, as well as Jay-Z and Beyonce?
endurance. Like, they've put in so much work together as far as a couple. You know, no relationship is perfect, and to fight for what you believe is, you know, I mean, I guess that's why, but I don't know. Is she a part of the Illuminati?
I don't really know. I don't know about the Illuminati. What do you think about that, Jay? You think it's really something to the Illuminati?
I don't even get into it, man. I look at it, but it's one of those things like how you get into hip hop and what parts of hip hop are hidden from public, just like movies or just like acting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's something so deep that I don't even feel like jumping down that hole. Like,
Yeah.
do I think there's like always like a clique niche or conspiracy type thing? Sure.
I mean, I feel that way. Even like on our levels, you know, we used to do our little dirt or something like that. We just meet up in the parking lot and do weed, smoke weed or something like that behind the teacher's back or something like that. I would think people that have higher powers actually do things behind our back that try to control us as well. So
I'm curious, like Cortez, in your studies, just listening to what Aaron said about the Church of Bey, they almost take on a belief of Hinduism into it, but yet still remain under Christian faith.
Right. I mean, with Christianity today, I think it's like modern day Christianity is very it's a lot of syncretism. And so what that means is you sync your beliefs with whatever's going on in the culture. And so I think that is because I think the church as a whole, I don't want to say as a whole, but in large parts, they have moved away from what is called the dogmatic aspects of the faith, right? So when you think about religion, there are two aspects to it. There is the spiritual side that encompasses prayer, fasting, loving your neighbor, connection with God, right? The spiritual, right? So sometimes people say I'm spiritual, not religious, right? I heard that before. But then you also have the other aspect of religion, which is the more of the dogmatic aspect. So this refers to theological formulations, creeds, beliefs, texts, the Bible, written scripts, right? And then the community organizes around that written script. And so if that written script is not kept at the forefront, then that church is subject to embracing anything. Right. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because those two don't work against each other, they complement each other. You need to know what type of God you're connecting to. If you don't have a written word, then the question we asking is, what is God like?
Right.
And so in a lot of those churches, yes, there's the Bible there, but like how much of it is stressed? Like how much of it is actually preached and taught from the word? And so with that comes this syncretism, I feel, that you see. And so I think that's just my assessment of the situation. Yeah.
how dangerous is hearing something like this, like ministries popping up like this? How dangerous is it?
Well, I mean, you know, Jesus said that these things will happen. So in some sense, if we're reading the Bible, then it's not surprising because,
But ultimately, for me, it was like, you pray for certain answers or you have that belief, and say you're going through a certain situation and you're looking for confirmation or a sign. A lot of people use what they hear in music as a message of confirmation. So I get that part of them trying to pull people into the church, but ultimately these people are responsible for the souls that they're pulling in, because it's not like they're using Beyonce to praise God. They're praising Beyonce as a God.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah, and even in that other churches, the church that had the Beyoncé Mass, one of the things that was talked about there was using Beyonce as a way to talk about God. So they would say quite clearly that yes, we're not worshiping her, and so, but they would say we can use her to talk about God. And so with that though, you have to always ask yourself the question, what you win people with is what you keep people with.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you win people with Beyonce, then you have to keep people with Beyonce.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so what's going to happen is you win to someone, to God through Beyonce or whatever. They're not worshiping her, but they're admiring her. But then what happens when that person starts reading the text?
Yeah.
And there's no
So what did y'all think about one of the videos I saw? They was talking about actually making is it a Bible?
Yeah.
It's a Bible, but basically using Beyonce's lyrics.
That's crazy. And he, just like Cortez said, it's attached to it. And calling her a deity, even through death, they'll still worship her. And having that text, like you just mentioned, will be the support system for it. Because when she dies, when she stops writing, there's nothing for anybody to look into or look towards. That text is written. It's always going to be followed as long as you're in the church. People assemble, like you said, towards like the messages that they hear, and they'll stay there.
Yeah.
It's kind of strong. Like,
What do you mean? What do you mean?
it's just this world is. I don't know. I don't know where we're going as a whole. It's just falling apart, and it just proves it. Like, I think that's crazy.
I'm gonna add something to that also, Cortez.
Yeah, just the fact that, as everyone has said, is, you just see the breakdown of a lot of things. I think that, so when the text is not emphasized, then you're subject to believe in anything. I mean, that's just the bottom line of it. And so the text is what holds everything together, like the death, burial, and the resurrection of Christ. And then the scriptures bear witness to that. Is the central piece of the message. And so when that breaks down, then you're subject to believe in anything. And so, it's not surprising when you know that, but when you see it, it still has that kind of gut reaction, like, wow, this is crazy.
Right.
So yeah.
So touching bases with what y'all just said. So back in May of this year, 2018, the church in San Francisco, California, they had an event called, again, Beyoncé Mass. It took the internet and social media by storm. The church is called Grace Cathedral. They say the event was a chance for people to find God through secular music. Some other people are flat out calling it evil, and they're saying they're using Beyonce to take the place of Jesus. How much of a difference of this Grace Cathedral is, somewhat related to the Church of Beyonce?
Yeah, so the difference is that they would never say that they are worshiping her. But the Church of, what was the name of that? The National Church of Bey, was that right?
National Church of Bey, yeah.
Yeah, they outright say that we worship her. But that church there wouldn't go that far, but they would say that they're using her as a platform to talk about God. And so that is the distinction there. Yeah.
Is that still risky to do something?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because it was called Beyoncé Mass. So Mass is refers to the Eucharist or the Lord's Supper, right? And so you imagine Beyonce and Lord's Supper are connected. Okay, and so what does the Lord's Supper represent in Christianity? It represents the new covenant, it's the sign of the new covenant, it's a sign of the death, burial, and resurrection. So the bread represents Christ's body, the wine represents his spilled blood, right? That's what Mass refers to. And so here you have Beyonce's Mass. What does that communicate?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Good, man. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So it doesn't communicate. So Christ gets put behind the stage, if you will, and Beyonce is in the forefront. Beyonce's Mass, right? That's the title. And so, but yeah, and so there's some. Yeah.
Didn't that church kind of increase their following in numbers when they did that Beyonce Mass? Because I think they were LGBT based type church, and they had low following. Their numbers of church members were like 14 and 20. They never got high, and then they did the Beyonce Mass church, in their following group.
Yeah. What I know is that they were doing the Mass regularly, and then they decided to do the Beyonce Mass, and then it increased. As far as how many people remained there after that, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know that answer. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know that part.
Right. Right.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Again, for the listeners just coming in, we're talking about the Church of Beyonce. And yeah, again, you heard us correctly. There is a Church of Beyonce based out of Atlanta, Georgia. The actual correct term for that church is the National Church of Bey. Bey came from what Beyonce refers to as her most loyal fans. She actually calls them as Bey. And again, we're just kind of talking about, you know, how this affects religion and basically where Christianity and where it's actually going in the future. Then when you hear things like this, where do you guys see the church going in the next couple of years?
It's something different than any other cult that popped up. That cultish type church or religion, it'll fade away. It'll go away from the forefront. Because now it's just a shocking thing. Just like David Koresh, that the church, that wasn't great until they had to storm the ranch. You know, that wasn't that shocking until people died. And it died and it went away. You don't really talk about it anymore. The only thing you see is on History Channel and TLC now.
I haven't seen, but one thing I have noticed that in each video, you don't see them say like she was a part of the Mass or she be at the church. So it's kind of hard. Like, do she really agree with this, or is she just okay with it because it helps promote her and helps her fans cope with whatever it is they're doing?
And then when it goes to that point, like, it's like it doesn't even go into trying to find God at that point. It's just more so about personal goals of actually benefiting Beyonce.
Right. And then they was trying to say it was targeted more towards African American women.
What,
but
the Beyonce Mass?
And the you know, the gay community, but I've seen a lot of Caucasians there. It wasn't like,
You know, Beyonce, her code, like, it's just not about a race thing with her. I mean, she got fans from all over the world.
Yeah,
but they
Jackson.
was targeting just African, like they were saying it's basically for African Americans.
So
female.
they basically put African American females in the box to say, you know, we want to get Beyonce to bring y'all in.
Right.
How did you feel about that when you saw that?
I was kind of upset. Like, I mean, we got enough stuff we deal with.
As black women,
Yeah. So to put us in that box, like, no.
What do you think about that, Kelly? What's your opinion on that?
I agree. I mean, it's why put us in that box? Like, what was the purpose of just putting us, just targeting us? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
We talked about some of that stuff before. It's like tropes, and all you did with black women there was create a trope within black women that needed a support system, and they're just going to target that trope. And when anybody that wants to be a leader or something, they know how to manage and control the psyche of a person. They know how to advertise to that person.
So does that mean that black women are weak-minded?
No, not
I mean, what does that say about, if they're just targeting us black women, what are they saying about us?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
wasn't it a black woman that said it?
I don't. Yeah, I mean,
I had to take the pressure off me because you were looking dead at me. I was like, hold
you
up.
made the last comment, so
Hold up.
I don't understand why they felt that black women needed that support.
Right.
Especially, I mean, I like some of Beyonce's songs. I mean, I'm not gonna say that she inspired me to do anything in specific from any of her songs, but I like some of her songs. But I don't need her support.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not in that box. I don't feel like I'm in that box. I don't need to be in that box. I don't want to be in that box.
I hear you. That's a good point. That's a good point, Kenny. Like, I didn't realize that they actually made that statement. But yeah, black women, like, today you guys got enough stuff going on, like, you know, in your everyday lives. A lot. What are some of the issues that you feel like you face as a black woman?
Almost everything. Financially, mentally, like,
Do you feel like you get the opportunities that you deserve when it comes to jobs and things like that as being a black woman? Because I feel like one thing about career-wise for black women, you guys actually do better than African American men. You disagree with that?
Do not check African American on any of my applications.
You don't?
I do not.
Why not?
Because who gave me that? Who said I'm African American? I check whatever box I feel comfortable checking for the day.
You woke up, I feel Filipino and Asian.
Right.
I feel like having Asian food today. I just had salsa yesterday, so I'm gonna check Mexican, Puerto Rican.
They not gonna check my background. So if I feel like I might get pulled quicker checking Native American, I'm gonna check Native American.
Yeah. Wow. John, what do you think about that, man?
What about checking who I am?
Yeah. What do you typically check when you
Other.
position? You always do other?
Yeah, I always do other.
Do you feel like that benefits you to get a phone call?
Nah, I just do it because I'm mixed. There's no gain to it for me. What's that other?
I check other.
You check other also?
Simply because my name is not a common name, so they know I'm black.
Yeah.
I don't need to check black. I just check other.
The hood chick name. We'll be like, Kiara, how you spell that?
Yeah.
What do you check in?
What do I check? Actually, I do African American.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What you check?
Same.
Same thing.
Why?
I mean, I'm not belittling the fact that I'm
that's
black.
black, right.
I don't want y'all to think that. The reason behind mine was because everybody knows I'm black anyway.
Yeah.
Shakita.
Mine's mostly be like, I ain't gonna say a joke type, but I like to see the expression when they really see me. Like,
So have you checked like Caucasian?
I have checked Hispanic, and
You can pass as Hispanic.
but no. And then when they
I don't
was
see you
they
passing
called me
it
in
like
for the
French.
interview, and they was like,
Caucasian
you like
American.
bilingual. And he was speaking to me in Spanish, and I was just looking at him, smiling like, I was like, look, I'm gonna be real with you. I ain't fluent.
Oh, you actually fessed up?
Yeah, so he was laughing. I actually got the job because of that, because he was like, you crazy as hell. But,
Come and stop.
right.
So if you check Caucasian, right, and they start
No,
speaking to you in
Lord.
English, do you try to speak anything else?
Wow.
Do you just lock up and stare at them?
It's just, cause I just don't like to be put in a box.
Must be.
Yeah. Financially, when you worked at the RIM, was your pay on par with everyone else, as far as you know, or do you feel like you were being underpaid at that?
No, I was paid fair. They actually paid pretty good. They really did.
They hiring?
Kianya, in your line of work, how do you feel like you're being paid fairly, even if because you're a woman?
I'm actually being paid fair in my line of work, and
Not enough. She need a raise.
and as far as
Gotta buy a Honda Fit.
women being hired more, I don't have to compete with a man in my field because there's more women than there are men.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
And again, for the people that didn't listen to the first show that you on, explain to them what's your background.
I'm a radiation therapist. I treat cancer patients with radiation. So in my line of field, it's a lot of women that are radiation therapists than men. But I am the only black therapist there.
You are the only one black? Oh wow. Why do you feel like more black women don't go into that field?
I honestly don't know. We are a facility that actually have students come in and rotate through our facility. I've seen one black female out of the 5 years.
Wow, and this is within 5 years. That's
Wow.
And I'm the only black one out of 12 therapists.
Wow,
out of 12. Wow.
Yeah.
I think.
With the and then we'll kind of move to the feminist movement. I know that's kind of a touchy situation, but you know, Should y'all be equal in every single thing? Equality.
No. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't see why not. I mean, not saying y'all, because y'all are very masculine, but half of the men try to be women. We should definitely be equal.
Or you guys feel like they're going about it the right approach? Like how is feminism? How is it affecting our society, John? What do you think about that?
Well, it's very detrimental coming from having a daughter too. Why are you looking at me like?
I'm just looking at you.
Well, I think it's detrimental to like the growth of women. You know what I mean?
Think it's detrimental?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Well, on the bad side.
Yeah.
On the bad side of things, it's because like if you tell somebody long enough they ain't shit, half the time they'll believe that up until the point where they either decide to not be shit or somebody uplifts them. Mm-hmm. And if you don't treat anybody like 100% human, who are you to do that?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then there's people that go through stuff. We talked about abuse and other relationships towards women. Mm-hmm. Those are the type of things that will keep a woman's personality affected. It'll hold them back in seeking help. It'll hold them back in just growing, period. Mm-hmm. I will never ever talk negative about a woman. I just yelled out no that there shouldn't be equality, but I was just kidding. And I got a mom too. Like my mother, I'm happy who she is. My mom's very independent. She's actually out of country now. My dad loves her to death. But that's the type of relationship you want to see between a man and a woman, is an uplifting one.
Now, your mom, she actually came from the Philippines. What type of struggles did you see her go through as a woman, and more so actually a foreigner in the United States? Like, do you see like a lot of opportunities where you feel like they just kind of overlooked her and things like that?
No, there was some people that treated my mom like shit.
Give me an example.
She was at work. She had a boss that said something to her crazy, talking about her, that she couldn't understand her because my mom has an accent. And it was worse when we first got here to the States. Mm-hmm. So, you know me, if anybody knows me, I went in there and beat his ass. Yeah. So that guy wasn't there anymore just because of the fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, she had people talk shit to her. I've had people talk shit to me because I'm mixed. Mm-hmm. So it's crazy. You can be around black people and they're like, oh, he's fucking mixed. Mm-hmm. And I can be around Filipinos and they're like, he's a fucking, and they call him negritos. Yeah. So basically call me a nigga with the rest of them. Yeah. And I was like, okay. So it's one of those you just learn to just look at and just move on in life. Because you can't beat down a whole society. You can beat one person and feel good about it, but you can't beat down how society looks at you.
What says you feel like the feminist movement, you feel like they're going about it the right way?
Well, I mean, I think that part of it came from what I understand is women wanting equal pay, and being treated fairly, and so that aspect, yes, I support that aspect. Women should be getting paid the same amount, but I think where it goes too far is when society insists that men and women are the same, and so I think that causes
elaborate that
causes more problems.
I'm saying, okay, well, right. what does he mean by that?
Well, I mean, there are differences between men and women.
Yeah, but
we have one is obviously biology, right? So we have different bodies, so no one's going to debate that. Also, men and women tend to have different interests, and so women are more, and there are some studies that will suggest this, but women are more interested in people typically, and men are more interested in things, and so that kind of is expressed in occupation and the type of jobs that women take and the types of jobs that men take.
Can women do every single job a man can do?
Right. So I mean,
just give me a yes and no.
Right. I would say no, just because some jobs are very physical. I don't think they can do it as effective, like physically laboring jobs.
Kiana, what do you think about that? can a woman do every single job a man can do?
I don't think they can do every single job. Prime example, like construction.
There's actually a lot of women that actually.
I'm talking about as far as like lifting up wheelbarrows containing 1,000 pounds and stuff like that.
Just
Yeah,
physicality.
Yeah. But other than that, I think we are more than capable of doing.
Shit, I seen some women that whoop my ass right now. We ain't gonna bench press together. That much.
I mean, I think we're more than capable of doing what men can do.
John, what were you gonna say about that?
No, I was just gonna say, like, do you guys feel like because most women now dominate the workplace, is that one reason why like most women do same sex now versus, because they know like the women are gonna push hard versus a lot of the men now it's like homebodies, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I don't have a problem with men doing role reversals. There's a lot of men these days that stay home, they raise the kids and things like that. Now, as for him leading the household, I'm not for sure. Do you feel like a man loses respect if he actually stays home and tend to the kids, whereas the wife goes out?
No. There's other cultures where the man stays home, period.
Yeah, and do you feel like they still get the respect in that particular culture?
They should. You should. Because it's not who's the caregiver in the house. Mm-hmm. It's whether you're still in the house is what people should respect.
Yeah.
I couldn't respect the man that would just be out and about and like, fuck it, I got kids and I got a girl and he's doing his own thing. You can't respect that.
Yeah. Cortez, you want to add something to that? What do you think about that?
I mean, I think some women do lose respect for a guy. Not all, but some do. I think women would prefer that the man would try to work, especially too, especially when a woman gets pregnant, and then she's looking for support, specifically financial support. And so, she will want someone who's competent, someone who, she's not mothering. And I think that if it ever reaches that point, then she will lose respect for him. And that's not a good situation to be in. Yeah.
So what qualities do women look for in a mate? I'm not gonna say man or on the man, just in a mate. Ladies.
I can't speak for all women, but majority of women look for confidence, stability,
protection.
Yep, absolutely.
Now, this is a good one, Cortez, because we just talked about this one last week. Something I'm gonna bring up that we actually talked about. We were going over discussion as to, again, John, what you asked about what women prefer. Do you guys, and I actually agree with Cortez, I just want to see if you guys agree with also. Do you guys agree with women that they either marry or they either go for a mate that's on the same level they are, or if they actually marry up? Do you guys agree with that? You guys, would a woman ever try to marry somebody that's beneath them in society, whether it's like financially or whatever?
It all depends. Like,
it depends on that woman's preference. I mean, if she prefers to do that. There are some women that are attracted to men just because of the way they make them feel. It has nothing to do with their job, how much money they're bringing in, just their presence make them feel a certain way, and they're willing to step into that relationship and build that man up to where he can possibly, to a different level.
Right.
And then there are other women that don't want to take time to do that. They married, they already, that man is already at the level that they want them to be. So there's nothing for the woman to do.
So if I lived in my mama's house when we met, would you date me?
Don't ask me that question.
Good stuff, guys. Cortez, did you want to add anything to that, man? Because I think that was a really good topic that I really kind of agree with you on, man. Just touch base with this. I just like hearing your opinion about that. This is good stuff.
Funny guy, man. So, Yeah, so so she was making some great points about, if a man makes a woman feel a certain way, then she would perhaps someone would overlook those other issues or things in the man and be with him in order to kind of lift him up to where he needs to be at. And so yes, there are women who do that. I just think that, just from my opinion and my perception of things, is that although you do have women that will do that, I think we still have to talk about preference and what a person prefers, right? What's their first choice, not second choice. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So I think that in many instances, and I could be wrong here, so I'm open to correction here, but I think maybe women who get with a man and then elevate him to where he needs to be, perhaps that's her second choice.
So you feel like women, a lot of women settle. Like they actually had the opportunity to get who they really wanted.
Yeah, because here's my point though, is that because if it was okay if the fact that she is trying to elevate him to another level proves my point. That's what I'm saying. It proves the point that they prefer the man to have some kind of status, whether it's economically or socially or whatever you call that, either equal to or above. Like that tends to be their preference. Now I would agree more with the statement if the woman got with the man and didn't try to elevate him to nothing. Mm-hmm. That to me would say, okay, well, yeah, it's not an issue for women then. So
I guess to put that analogy in layman's terms, he's just basically, she's not trying to push him to get a job or anything like that. He's just sitting home.
Well, it depends on what they mean by like pushing, because
so Kiara, what do you mean by pushing?
Yeah.
Maybe the man just has not had opportunities presented to him to get to his, maybe he has goals and he just has not gotten to that place in his life at that point he met that woman.
Is it yours job to push that and instill that in that man?
It's not our job to instill it in him, but it's our job to encourage him. It's our job to be supportive. Mm-hmm. Why would you want to put him down? They get that already. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I feel like some women, you got the women who look for the stability, the security. They need the man with the money. But just because he got the money doesn't mean he's respecting you at home.
Right.
He could be doing whatever else. He got the money where he could keep another family quiet. You feel me?
Yeah.
So a woman might go for somebody with less rank because they don't want to, feel controlled. Like he's putting in the most. It's like a 50-50. Mm. You get what I'm saying? Like. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's more of a 50-50. But then you got those women who just want the dominance of it all. Like, as long as I know he home with these kids, he ain't out here running around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it all depends on the person.
Yeah. John, you want to add anything to that?
Nope, sure don't. I sure do not. You didn't get me chime in.
So for the record, I just wanted to say that when you originally asked me the question about can a woman do a man's, how did you word that?
I'm sorry.
Can a woman do a man's job?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, you say yes or no. I said effectively. I just wanted to say that. Just to clear it up. Yeah.
He only said that because he got to do them blind dates.
No. Effectively, like in physical jobs, yes. So go ahead.
Okay. Cool.
He had to think about it. He said, man, I'm going to catch one bad blind date.
Nah. John, before you met Kianya, have you ever met like any female that
I was a pimp, B. Don't even.
Oh, no.
was a pimp?
Yeah, I was a straight pimp.
The whole time?
Uh-huh.
Like from 5 years old to when did you meet Keanu? When did y'all meet? What was your age?
2000.
2000.
Early 2000s. That's what's up.
18 years.
That's a long time, man. Big ups to y'all for
A
that.
couple
man.
beatings in there. A couple beatings.
For him.
Beatings.
Okay, well, it's still not right if Kelly beat.
Oh, I'm about to say, hold on, Doc.
Yeah, that's still not right. Yeah, this is good stuff, man. I know we kind of jumped here and there, but this is just kind of one of those open platform episodes where we just kind of go all over the place on different topics and things like that. And, like I said, feminism, and that's kind of a big topic right now, but good stuff. How y'all feeling? Y'all feeling good?
Yeah.
Feeling good. It's hot in here.
Yeah.
Y'all want to keep going, or a few more minutes, or?
Keep it up, man.
All right.
Keep it up. Don't worry, it'll be edited.
Yeah, it'll be edited, so don't worry about that. So let me see what else I want to kind of talk to y'all about. I don't know. Let's go back to the president. Let's talk about that.
There is something I wanted to say about that. You asked the question, why do most African Americans look up to
Barack
and Jay-Z and Beyonce?
Yeah.
I feel as though because, to separate the two, Barack was the first black president.
Yeah.
And the way he treats his wife is...
So that more so earned a lot of respect from the African American community because of how he actually treated Michelle Obama.
They are that power couple. Jay and Beyonce are too. Now, I don't know how he treats his wife. Because
Barack and Michelle, is that the ideal couple of what an African American relationship should be, or that's what most people were hoping for?
You would hope so.
And are people more so pushing for that because we don't have enough of that in our community? Is that why y'all feel like it?
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of a hunger for that, like symbolically they represent what every black family could be. And so this desire and this hunger, so this desire and this hunger just to see a family with one husband, one wife, and then kids, right? And so that's not something that you see a lot in a lot of black communities, and we already know that what the statistics are basically saying about just the rate of single parent homes. And so when you have a chance to see that on a grand scale like that, it's powerful, when it just does a lot to African Americans.
Yeah.
So,
So what about going to the power couple of Beyonce and Jay-Z? I mean, same thing applies.
Right. So obviously there are different people. I think insofar as the marriage is concerned, yes, it applies because marriage is marriage. But as far as the content of the people, there's there's a difference obviously in that. So, but I think it's the family part. That's the part that's the draw for a lot of people. And then I think because of the family part, people will tend to overlook a lot of the other stuff because there's such a hunger for that family aspect to be satisfied and to be projected onto someone else. Right. That you say, wow, that's a good thing, that's a good thing, that's a good thing. And then you ignore kind of some of the other aspects of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just my take on it.
I think they're a power couple because of the
What are we talking about now, Beyonce and Jay?
Yeah, they're business partners, and they're beasts at it, obviously, because they're number 2 richest couple in the world or something like that. I'm not sure if that's true.
Do you think the reason for the marriage was solely on business?
That I can't answer. I don't know.
John?
That's one of those same things. I couldn't answer that question. I wouldn't even want to make a statement on that because they could have a real love for each other.
Yeah.
It could be a genuine relationship that people just throw shade on, and maybe that's why they're so private.
And they are very private. I give that to them. Like you do not know.
Well, I don't know. A couple of weeks ago, those photos actually came out. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
When they actually had the photos. So was that some type of publicity stunt, or? And if you don't remember, they actually had pictures of themselves in the bedroom, but
Oh yeah.
I don't think it was publicity stunt. I just feel like they was trying to show the world a little bit more of their relationship, like, or their affection for each other.
if they were going to do that, why would they choose to do those photos? Couldn't they have done that in some other aspect?
Because of their album.
I'm sorry?
Because of the album.
Because of the album? That's what you think it was?
Could have been.
I would actually agree with you, Cal. That's what I was going to say. I was waiting for one of y'all to say it. But I think it was a publicity stunt.
But then they on tour too, so you know they do the projections of the pictures and videos. So I mean, it's hard to say.
Why did he not cut his hair?
I'm sorry, why did
For the video?
Jay-Z cut his hair.
cut his hair?
Yeah.
What does it look like?
You see his picture? It's all grown out, bro.
Oh, okay. I guess we get to a point, man, where you get that powerful, you just don't even care anymore.
Motherfucker, you not supposed to put deodorant on and regular hygiene?
But yeah, Jay, man, he's just one business after another. He's just really advancing his career, and like you said, like they are a power couple right about now. And actually, I was reading the other day, Nas actually has some type of pharmaceutical company that he invested in. I believe Amazon just bought it out for $1 billion.
Wow. I think I
Nas is
remember
like,
seeing
it's actually a startup that he actually backed up, and they actually purchased it for $1 billion, which is really good.
Making money in pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, I mean,
The Styles P got something like that too.
what, like a startup?
A pharmacy.
But I think Nas' thing is more so it was actually delivering. It was actually delivering, like, I guess, prescription pills or something like that people who can't go out and get them on their own. So, which I think that was actually a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Really good idea.
Yeah, anything that Amazon gets a hold of,
It's going to turn into
it's,
growth.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are they still coming to North Carolina, Cortez? Like,
Well, last time I heard something about that Raleigh was in the top 20 cities of, they were in the top 20. So
their selections.
for the selection to come to a particular city. So I don't know if they narrowed down that list, but the fact that Raleigh is even in the list just says something about Raleigh.
But no, Raleigh is top 5. It's been top 5 for like the last 15 years for just IT in general. So
Okay, I see.
Not really surprising.
Got you.
How do you like driving for Amazon? You still driving?
Yeah. So I drive for them part time. So it's nice.
What
It's
route?
real simple.
And what do you carry?
So I don't deliver for Amazon.com. I deliver for Amazon Flex. And so Flex is an app you can download on your phone, and anything on that app you can get delivered to you in 2 hours or 1 hour if you pay
You
$9.
basically don't have to wait the next one.
Right.
What you say?
You don't have to wait for it to be
2 hours.
2 hours. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, 2 hours. So it's only for Raleigh though, so you can't get anything out here.
I'm about
The listening audience, y'all don't know where we at.
I'm trying to make eye contact. Get me out of this, bro.
But yeah, anything on that app you can get delivered to you in 2 hours.
Shit, I'll meet y'all halfway. I go right to Raleigh.
Yeah, so it's free too for all Prime members. So if you're a Prime member, it's free.
Oh man, that's great. Actually, we got a Prime 2 days coming up here soon, right?
Okay.
It's off on Prime. I'm not
Oh,
sure
nice.
if it's the 18th or 19th, or y'all can look it up. It's,
Okay.
They've been advertising on TV the last couple of days.
I'm an Amazon
This
Prime
a what?
member.
Amazon Prime, they're doing like their 50% off sale for Prime members. So that you really need to take advantage of.
Hold on, so when is that?
It's either the 19th or the 20th or the 23rd or the 24th.
Oh, just like one day.
I think it's like a
Oh, nice.
48-hour event. Yeah. But yeah, you can definitely save for
Look
like,
at John.
You don't like
Half of the
Amazon?
stuff that I get you is from Amazon, so stop acting like that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, well, shoot. Tell them more about this sale, man. My bad. I didn't know.
Yeah, Amazon, man.
Birthday's coming up.
They just kind of transcended that online shopping thing, man.
I use Amazon all the time. You heard about the Amazon team, right?
No, what's going on? What's up with that?
So pretty much teenagers can use a certain aspect of Amazon, and so they say, let's just say they're scrolling down and they like something, and then the parent will get a notification, and then the parent
So it's basically
has to approve that, and if the parent approves it, then it's ordered.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I don't need that app.
I hear that.
Have they already implemented that? Or is-
From what I remember seeing a commercial of it, I think it is implemented, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's almost similar to well, I can't say the name, so I'm gonna just move forward. All right, what else, man? What else y'all want to talk about? How y'all feeling?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good.
I'm still mad. Y'all was like Drake is not cannot
That
be
was
like
14
a
hours
part
ago.
of top 5.
All right, so for those of y'all who just listening, like our last episode, we asked Reyah the top 5 rap artists that she feels like should be in the top 5, and her number 2 choice was Drake, and we gave her a lot of lash on that. We felt like Drake should probably be in the top 5. Ty, why you? I mean, I got a lot of respect for you about your music knowledge, but like Drake, man, like.
What is wrong with Drake? You give me a reason why you don't like Drake. Why you don't think he fit in that category?
I guess so, more so because I can't really relate to what he actually talks about. And most artists, I know DMX and a few of the other artists, they just felt like he doesn't talk about things that are relatable for, I guess, the average African American male. It's more so it's just love this, love that, and a lot of people can't relate to what he's doing. They more so like people that they can relate to. When I'm listening to music, it's something to inspire and help me out. And they feel like when they listen to Drake, it doesn't do that. It feel like the music is more so made for women.
Well, have you heard? Well,
Probably not. You asked me if I've heard a Drake song, I'm probably say I probably haven't.
you haven't heard his album?
No, actually I haven't. I actually haven't. And I'm being honest with you.
And you so straight faced. Now I see why your baby said that.
Yeah. Shout out to Drake, man. We were trying to hit you off, man. Sometimes, we just can't relate to everybody's music. So, But yeah.
This is so serious.
I know.
So what y'all coming up, man? This music episode, like how you want to do that? Y'all want to just try to invite people from North Carolina or what?
The independent artists.
Yeah. Tell us about the right now while we're actually talking. Tell us about the contest you want to do.
All right, so we're gonna run this contest for 30 days. We got a track that was produced, got mixed and mastered here. Anybody that wants to participate in it, gotta send a DM. Aaron will check it. He'll give you some rules of the contest. Just gotta basically spit 2 minutes. And the way you're gonna work out, we're gonna work out to the contest is just based on votes. So get your friends, get your people to follow you, like your video or like your track. We'll play it. We'll leave it up for some time to get votes on it. The ones with the top most votes, we're gonna take that top 50. Take that top 50, get it ran. We'll get a couple celebs to help us judge it down and get it down to number 1.
All right, so now people, they're gonna want some type of they're saying what's the reward? We gotta come up with a really cool reward. What should we do for them?
You gonna give some show passes?
I mean, that's an option. What do you think we should do, Tom, for the winner?
I think that would be dope.
Yeah.
So just show passes.
You get some show passes, or we can get them in the studio.
Okay, I think we could probably do pay for some recording studio time. Either they come down here, or I guess we pay for wherever they're at. Pay for up to we'll do like an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can always do an hour for them. So
Okay.
I think that'd be cool. So yeah, man, we'll start working on that ASAP, man, and kind of help these independent artists out a little bit.
We can keep it in the United States, or you want to go international?
You know what?
How in the world they gonna get here?
Right.
That ain't my problem.
Are you gonna play for the air?
I call the airplane to get here myself. They can catch one too.
Sorry about taking the international.
No, I'm just kidding. We'll just start with it here.
We'll keep it. We'll keep it basic. And tell my international fans to follow me on IG and Instagram. Like we'll come up with something for y'all because y'all always sending me music and stuff too. But
you know what? Let them spit on the track.
let them spit.
Hell yeah. Let them crash some airtime. That's what we'll do. We'll run international.
All right, we'll do that. We'll do that.
I ain't afraid.
Going international.
Cool. And also to our listeners, I know we haven't shouted this out in a long time, but make sure you guys visit us at www.droeshow.com. Always check us out there for like our episodes. We'll always upload there first. Reyah, something you didn't do that you should have done. You didn't tell us that you changed your IG handle. So you didn't tell me about it. I'm pretty sure people get like their sweets, and you didn't even tell me that you changed the handle. I know like people looking for you and they gonna find you. So what's your new handle? Tell them what's your new handle.
My new handle is Renegade Reyah. I'm not on Facebook, but I am on Snapchat. It's Henny Straight Ty.
Spell that out just in case.
HENNYSTRAIGHTTY.
How come y'all got listeners sending y'all messages? I don't got nobody sending me messages.
Well, we got strange people following you. I be seeing your following like John got some of the strangest people. I apologize to them, but you got some strange people. I'll just be wondering something like, man. And then they'll go follow me like right after they follow you and stuff like, no, y'all ain't coming in.
Yeah, I
get on my nerves though, because people be like they'll follow you so you can follow them back, and then they unfollow you. Like now everybody just gonna be stuck.
What is that about? Is that some type of code or what's that?
That's so they can get more followers.
The only way you can get to Cortez on social media is DM his parents. They'll email him and he'll let them know what his response will be. So give it about a 32-hour turnaround.
I'm off the grid.
And J-Dub, how can they reach out to you, man, if they want to talk to you?
Oh, mine's J Waters, the letter J WATERS 0406. Is that right?
You got any upcoming events you want to talk about, anything like that?
I don't have anything going on.
Okay.
And once we launch the new tattoo shop, I'll let everybody know.
Cool. And Kianya, again, tell people about how they can get in touch with you and your nonprofit.
Again, my nonprofit organization's name is Rainbow of Ribbons. My website is www.rainbowofribbons.org. I am on Instagram, Rainbow of Ribbons. I'm on Facebook, Rainbow of Ribbons. And you can, my email is also up there, www.rainbowofribbonsnpo.com @gmail.com. Excuse me. It's on both IG, Facebook, and my website.
So www.
Anyway, I said that wrong. It is Rainbow of Ribbons NPO @gmail.com. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
I thought you made another website.
Alright, cool beans. And like I told you earlier, we'll put something on the website as well as the social media and stuff. We'll keep people aware until October, so don't worry about that. We got your back on that, Kianya.
Thank you.
Alright, so another good show, guys. I really appreciate you guys for coming on here, man. And to our listeners, thank you guys for listening. We'll be back with you soon. This is the Dromatic Show podcast, and we are out.
Bing!
Yay.
You've just listened to the Dromatic Show podcast with your host, Dromatic.